An appeals court in North Carolina is requiring more than 65,000 voters in the hotly contested state Supreme Court race to provide proof of identity in order for their votes to be counted. The ruling could potentially swing the outcome of the race in favor of Republican candidate Judge Jefferson Griffin. The Friday decision was a win for Griffin, who challenged more than 60,000 ballots because the voters had not provided either a driver's license or the last 4 digits of a Social Security number upon registering, as required in North Carolina. The post-election protest process preserves the fundamental right to vote in free elections on equal terms, the 2-to-1 majority opinion states. This right is violated when votes are not accurately counted because unlawful ballots are included in the election results. The inclusion of even one unlawful ballot in a vote total dilutes the lawful votes and effectively disenfranchises lawful voters. This contest is the last statewide race to be decided in the country from the November 5th election. On election night, Griffin was beating incumbent Democrat Justice Allison Riggs by about 10,000 votes. Over the next 9 days, votes started trickling in that eventually swung the total in Riggs' favor by 734 votes. The Democrat-run North Carolina State Board of Elections has been trying to fast-track the certification of Riggs in this election, but the state Supreme Court has been blocking its ability to do so since January 7th. While the court noted it could throw out all the ballots in question, it said that the North Carolina State Board of Elections was to blame for the incomplete registrations, as it did not make clear that the identification was required, as it was supposed to. The court is requiring that roughly 60,000 in-state voters be notified and given 15 days to provide the identification or have their ballots removed from the count. Based on precedent from the Supreme Court of North Carolina, this court could order that those voters are without a remedy to cure their incomplete registrations, the opinion states. However, because the board and the county boards did not comply with their statutory obligations to notify these voters who have provided enough information on the form to enable the county board to identify and contact the voter of the information defect in their registrations, we conclude these voters should be allowed a period of 15 business days after notice to cure their defective registrations. The order requires county boards of election to omit from the final count the votes of those voters who fail to timely cure their registration defects. Griffin also challenged about 5,500 overseas voters who cast ballots without identification. The majority opinion determined that their ballots have not been properly cast as well, and they have been afforded the same ability to remedy their ballots as the in-state voters. The opinion again noted that they could order that those voters are without a remedy to cure their failure to comply with the photo ID requirement. The smallest category of challenge from Griffin was never resided voters, a group of 267 voters who very controversially have been given the ability to vote in North Carolina despite never having lived there in their lives. We conclude these purported voters are not eligible to vote in North Carolina, non-federal elections, and the votes cast by these purported voters are not to be included in the final count in the 2024 election, the court decided. The battle for the state Supreme Court seat is unlikely to be over. An appeal of the decision from Riggs could be heard by a full panel of the appeals court. With Griffin recused from the case, the ratio of Republicans to Democrats is 11-3. The appeal could also be heard by the state Supreme Court, where Republicans outnumbered Democrats 5-1 with Riggs recused. Republican Justice Richard Dietz, however, did not side with the majority in 2 prior cases involving this election. According to the Carolina Journal, the parties anticipate a 3-3 split at the Supreme Court, meaning the appeals decision would be upheld. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this content and want to stay informed with common sense takes on today's issues, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Together, we can stand strong for truth, tradition, and American values. Stay safe, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one. Because your voice matters.